You're watching WION and we have some breaking news coming in right now about a de-escalation process that was underway and a violent face-off that took place yesterday night with casualties which have been reported. The loss of lives on the Indian side includes an officer and 2 soldiers, and senior military officials of the 2 sides are currently meeting on the venue to defuse the situation at the LAC. We'd like to repeat that this is breaking news coming in about a violent face-off at the border, at the India-China border, and India has confirmed casualties at the Ladakh border. So far, we know that an officer has died from this face-off. This is breaking news about a violent face-off at the India-China border, and India has confirmed casualties at the Ladakh border. The update that we have so far is that there has been the death of 3 Indian soldiers so far in this violent face-off. This is a developing story as of now, and more updates are coming as we speak. India has confirmed right now that 3 casualties have been reported from the Indian side on the border. We're trying to get you more details as we speak. What we know now is that there was a violent face-off last night at the Ladakh border, and 3 casualties have been reported so far from the Indian side. Yeah. Now, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal is joining us live for more updates. Siddhant, please tell us, what do we know about this developing story so far?
Well, it's a major development, perhaps never seen before at the LAC. India has confirmed that 3 of its army personnel have been killed in the Galwan Valley, where a skirmish happened between the Chinese forces and the Indian forces. And this has now been confirmed by the Indian Army. And the Indian Army has also confirmed that both sides are in talks with each other to make sure that the situation diffuses. But this is the major development in India-China relationship. We know that how the situation has been very precarious in last few days.
Right. Now, do we know anything about the number of casualties? We know that 3 casualties have been reported from the Indian side so far, but do we know if there are any more?
There are 3 casualties which have been confirmed by the Indian Army. One of them is an officer. And right now, as I've told you, both sides are in conversation to defuse this situation. But we have seen in last 1 month, the situation has been quite precarious. There have been talks happening almost every alternate days. In fact, there was a talk between both the Indian side and the Chinese side just yesterday, and now this development coming, a worrisome development. We know that both sides have been engaging diplomatically as well to resolve the situation. And when it comes to diplomacy, the Joint Secretary had spoken earlier this month. In fact, we know that the Chinese envoy was in touch with the Indian officials here in Delhi, and in Beijing also the Indian envoy was in touch. The military level talks, there have been 4 military level talks happening this month, starting from 6th of June. And we know that after 6th of June, there has been disengagement as well at a few points, except there have been worrisome points, especially when it comes to Galwan Valley. And now the Indian Army confirming that there has been skirmish, and in the skirmish there has been casualties from the Indian side.
Right. Now, Siddhant, we know that this is a developing story. In the meantime, can you also tell us a little bit about what's been happening between the India-China relationship in the last few weeks, amid major tensions, amid a border standoff, of course?
Well, if you look at the India-China relationship, last 1 month hasn't been very positive. We know that there has been build-up by the Chinese on the LAC, and this has been a cause of worry which New Delhi has raised at diplomatic level and at the military level. But one of the biggest questions, of course, is why China is indulging in such kind of activities at a time when COVID crisis is something that the world is facing. And it's just not the LAC where China is creating trouble. It is at South China Sea. It is at various locations across its borders, whether it's Japan or whether it's with Vietnam. And now this development coming with India, which is a major development, and it's a very negative development. The fact that the Indian sides have received casualty. 3 Indian army personnel have been confirmed by the Indian army being killed in the skirmish which happened yesterday night, and now this statement has come out. By and large, we know that both sides will be keen to look to diffuse the situation. We know that when it comes to diplomatic front, both sides have been saying that the differences should not become disputes. But we also know that later this month, on 22nd of June, the RIC meeting, that is Russia, India, China Foreign Ministers meeting, will take place. The big question is, will India participate now in that meeting?
Right. Now, the Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh did say that dialogue is important, and this has been followed by such a big provocation from China. So what really lies ahead for this India-China relationship in the coming few days? Yeah. All right, we'll get Siddhant back shortly. Now, this is a breaking news coming in about a violent face-off at the Ladakh border, and 3 Indian casualties have been reported. We are trying to get more updates about this breaking story as we speak. For now, we know that last night a violent face-off took place at the border, and 3 casualties have been reported so far from the Indian side. This has been a massive provocation from China, and this has been a developing story so far. And the update that we have right now is that Indian casualties have been reported. That is, 1 officer and 2 soldiers have lost their lives in this violent face-off. And we are trying to get more details as we speak. And now joining us live is our political affairs editor, Karthikeya Sharma, who will give us more details. Karthikeya, tell us, a major provocation from China. What can we say about the India-China relationships as of now?
Priyanka, as of now, the details which have poured in are that this altercation took place at the Galwan point, where some sort of disengagement had taken place. Indian side and even the Chinese side were of the expectation that the sort of talks which are taking place at the Finger 4, Finger 7, Finger 6, Finger 8 areas, it would have continued through the winter. Now, this engagement which took place between the forces has resulted in the death of the 2 soldiers and 1 officer,
right.
and one officer, a senior officer to be precise, and the talks are expected to continue. WION has been told that as we speak right now, discussions are on at the border to further disengage, to resolve this issue, but one does understand the gravity of the situation that an altercation like this has taken place at the line of actual control. Though there had been minor altercation in terms of troops going in for a standoff, staring at each other, using banners, painting certain rocks saying that they belong to their territory, whether it is the Kibutu area of Arunachal Pradesh,
right,
or whether it's the Uttarakhand part where the maps were exchanged. But this is the first of its kind, Priyanka.
Right. Now, Karthikeya, this is obviously a developing story, and we'll get our viewers more updates as and when we get them. But give us a little insight into the kind of relationship and the kind of standoff that has existed between India and China over the last few weeks, which may have led to this violent face-off.
See, a lot of experts are of the view that the standoff is not a result of the changes which India has done in Jammu and Kashmir, but standoff is a result of the Chinese assertion of its power globally because it has gained economically. So people see it in the context of what's happening in South China Sea, what's happening in Vietnam, the muscular approach of China towards Cambodia and other parts of the world, the way they have dealt with Philippines, and so with the case of line of actual control, where China has actually not taken steps to resolve the boundary issue. But then India had maintained a lot of I would say patience. The show of strength was devoid of aggression. Now the details are not in as to what happened at the line of actual control, what led to the death of 2 soldiers and 1 senior officer, but then we can say that the talks are on, and talks were on at multiple places through the line of actual control. One will come to know as to what precipitated the crisis.
Right.
One will also come to know where this engagement took place. It would be really presumptuous on our part to, analyze those viral videos. But the fact of the matter is that what has happened on the border is a first in many, many decades.
Right. Rightfully said, Karthik. This is the violent face-off that happened last night. And now for more details, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal is joining us again. Siddhant, tell us, it seems that talks are on between the two nations. And what could be the possible outcome of these talks? And what can we expect in the coming few days? Will tensions continue to rise?
Well, yes, I can confirm you that talks are on between both the sides when it comes to resolving the matter, diffusing the situation that has come up. But the fact that there has been killing of the Indian soldiers on the Indian side, this is something that is bound to create ripples. And if you look at the relationship between the two countries, it has been a tense relationship in past few days and, of course, past few months. And this is only going to precipitate further as well. And talking about tensions, I actually can say that it's not likely very soon that tensions are going to come down, because killing of the Indian soldier is something that has been very, very major development when it comes to India-China relationship. It has come after decades, perhaps. In fact, at the Doklam crisis, at the height of the 2-month-long Doklam crisis in 2017 also, there was no such development which happened, and both sides were able to diffuse the situation peacefully. But this time it seems that situation has exacerbated, and it is likely to keep New Delhi and Beijing relationship quite tense for next few days, months, or perhaps years as well. And coming at a time of the COVID pandemic, where the world is to put the resources on dealing with this crisis, this of course gives another angle to the entire story. But by and large, increased combativeness by China is something that has been noted from Washington to New Delhi to Canberra, and it looks like that world is going towards a new friction points between various nations, especially India and China.
Absolutely. Siddharth, as you said, now I want to ask you another question. The timing, as you mentioned, of this violent face-off is extremely suspicious. The entire world is focused on countering this and combating the COVID-19 crisis. And an attack like this, at a time like this, really seems suspicious. So why is China flexing its muscles right now?
Well, that's the big question everyone is asking, why Beijing is getting so aggressive in last few months, whether it's with Vietnam, whether it's with Australia, Japan. There are countless countries, in fact, who have raised this point. This was raised by the U.S. Secretary of State during his meeting with the ASEAN foreign ministers. One point can be seen is the fact that as the world goes towards this major crisis, the COVID crisis, Beijing sees a point that it is its moment to rise in the new geopolitical affairs, and that is why we have seen aggressiveness by Beijing at various border points, with various countries, and perhaps Beijing is trying to change the world according to its own vision. We know that the Chinese President Xi Jinping
All right, we'll come back to Siddhant for more. Let's go to our political affairs editor Karthikeya Sharma for more insights on this developing story. Karthikeya, tell us what really has sparked off this violent face-off between India and China. Our viewers would like to understand the dynamics of the relationship.
The difference between the last time and this time is that the face-off took place at a number of sectors, at the 4 sectors. In 80s, in 70s, in the early 90s and 2000, the face-off took place in certain sectors for a particular period of time in a particular area. They were localized. But this time around, the face-off has taken place between Chinese and Indian soldiers at multiple sectors in different parts of the line of actual control. Now, that's the difference number one. The second difference is that the face-off would take place between the petrol units. But this time, the face-off has taken place with a build-up which was done by the People's Liberation Army. Secondly, what has happened is that this face-off, the number of face-off which had taken place, has also been accompanied by massive Chinese propaganda, where they have also showcased their weapons which have been put in place by the People's Liberation Army. And the fourth and the biggest, I would say, difference is that this face-off took place at a time when the world is dealing with COVID-19 pandemic, and the face-off continues with engagement taking place between senior military officers through the border. And I think that's also a biggest takeaway, that the talks have taken place at the Major General level, Lieutenant General level, and even the level of the brigadiers.
Right. Karthik, another important question that rises out of all of this, these renewed tensions that we see between the Indian security forces and China, how should New Delhi really be dealing with an aggressive Beijing?
I think the difference is that the New Delhi has showcased the strength without being aggressive. Now, details are yet to pour in because there is a difference between the way India has dealt on the line of actual control, which is Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, and the line of actual control, which is with China. And three sectors have behaved very differently. Ladakh sector has behaved very differently from Uttarakhand sector, and the Uttarakhand sector has behaved very, very differently from the Arunachal Pradesh sector. I had been to Kibutu, which is in Arunachal Pradesh, and the build-up between the Chinese areas and the India, which is Arunachal Pradesh, is very, very different. They have built up right up on the border. Indian build-up is not there. So, you know, India has been facing with the connectivity issue, road issue, the helipads issue, the airfields issue, and India has been trying to make up for it in the last 20 years. For example, the Daulat Beg Oldie was inaugurated just 7 years back. So, you know, we have a lot to catch up when it comes to the Chinese infrastructure. So, number of airfields too has been activated, but this is a first what we witnessed today.
Right, Karthik, thank you so much for those insights. Joining us now on the phone lines is Swaran Singh, a strategic affairs analyst. Mr. Singh, tell us, what can we say about this recent violent clash at the border and what can we expect in the coming weeks?
This is definitely unexpected because both at the level of diplomacy and on the border, constantly both sides have been in touch with each other. Except that one can only read this as part of constant incremental ratcheting up from the Chinese side that has happened over the last 6 to 7 years. And we saw this time, you know, not just one but 4 places, and particularly in East Ladakh. This constant ratcheting up that was happening could go as far as this is really surprising because we are both sides constantly in touch with each other.
Right.
Except that in Chinese social media, fake or true, some of these small videos were circulating of Chinese soldier having been hurt and bleeding. And that was something which was again very surprising to me. So I told them that this could be an old video. I don't think it is possible this time. But now you're saying Indian side has got the hit. And that is really surprising because I don't think Chinese can really afford to do that.
Right.
Because the environment is such, the whole world is already angry with Chinese.
Now, exactly
because
as you...
of COVID-19, and then pushing it this far would really be costly for China, and I think it's going to be difficult for them to repair that.
Now, absolutely. So Mr. Singh, as you just pointed out...
It should not have happened. It's either an aberration, a mistake on the border.
Right.
I don't think it's a calculated strategy, and if it is a calculated strategy, I think that's really derailing the relationship in a very, very dangerous fashion. Never such a thing has happened for really several decades now.
Right.
So this is the first of this kind that if the news is confirmed, and I don't think this is something we have faced for almost 67 onwards. And I think this is something which we have to really respond to it. And I don't think this is something India can take lying down.
Right.
And I'm sure there will be a response, well-calculated response to this, but it is really surprising. I don't think this should have happened.
Right.
It's a mistake.
Mr. Singh, sorry to interrupt you. That brings me to my next question, actually, that, you know, we've been hearing about talks that have been taking place along the LAC so far, across 2 locations, in fact. And the Indian Defence Minister has also said that it's very important to have a dialogue with China. And a clash like this at a time like this, when the world is battling the COVID-19 crisis, seems really suspicious. So can you tell us more about the timing of this violent clash as well?
As I said, it looks to me a kind of an inadvertent mistake. I hope it is like that, because if it is a calibrated way of advancing on the border, then this is derailing the relationship, because brigade, not just brigadier level, but even Major General level, and then General Harinder Singh Corps Commander level, negotiations are happening constantly on the border.
Right.
And it is shocking that despite that, such an incident could happen. So I hope it is some kind of an aberration, mistake, which Chinese will soon clarify, that they never intended that to happen. Otherwise, this is going to derail the relationship in a very dangerous fashion. And I think both armies are very potent, very capable, and this could escalate at any given time. So far, it was only pushing, shoving, stone pelting, etc. But this is dangerous.
Right.
And in armed forces, they will not let it go, lightly, because each life is enormously important. For the entire nation, it is important.
Right. Now, so Mr. Singh, before I ask you another question.
From our side.
Yes, Mr. Singh, before I ask my next question, we'd just like to apprise our viewers about the recent violent India-China face-off that took place last night, where one senior officer and two other officers, two soldiers from the Indian side have been reported as casualties, and this has been confirmed. And we know that talks have been underway to diffuse tensions, but this violent face-off took place last night. Now, Mr. Singh, another question that arises in all of this is, how should India be dealing with an aggressive China?
I think there has to be, it's a typical thing that army always has. And, life lost is not taken very lightly. They are all comrades, brothers. They are ready to die for each other. And that is how armed forces are trained for. So I don't think that is going to be taken any lightly in army. And army would then press for a very, very severe response to this.
Right.
And I think political leadership have to also take that into consideration. We hope that this doesn't escalate, and only way that it would not escalate is if the Chinese really come out open and saying it was a mistake and we never intended this to happen or something like that. Otherwise, this could escalate because both armies are really very capable. Indian army is very capable of delivering a very, very severe blow.
Right,
we have seen what we have done with Pakistan.
Right.
So I hope it doesn't escalate. I am not sure at this stage how they will be resolving it because talks are constantly happening, and then this happens is really shocking.
Right.
It's a breach of faith in that sense if that has happened.
Mm-hmm. Now, Mr. Singh, this is a developing story and we'll be getting our viewers more details as we get them. But can you also tell our viewers a little bit more about the border standoff between India and China that may have precipitated this incident?
I always say there are four things that define the new genre or the new kind of aggression that we are seeing from Chinese side on the border. Number one, that the frequency had increased enormously, from 100 to 200 to 600 aggressions last year. And then second is the intensity of violence, the kind of force they bring up to the border, both in number of troops, the kind of heavy armored carriers, the artillery guns, or temporary infrastructure to build and then sort of settle their troops for a few days, eyeball to eyeball. So very different power projection was happening constantly. And of course, third, also invariably when political leadership is doing something which is seeking to build good relations with India or projecting a good image of China,
right.
PLA seems to be doing this crazy thing on the border. And the fourth is this incremental 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards.
Right.
And that is why I always said it's going to be only tactical. They don't intend to flare it up. It's only incremental pushing and shoving that Chinese are doing all over across South China Sea, with other neighbors, with India. But this is shocking to have this news of Indian soldiers, Indian troops, actually, being a casualty in this case.
Right.
Something I don't think Chinese can afford to do that, and I don't think it is part of their pattern that they were developing over a period of time.
Right.
They were making it really tactical move, really incremental move, but this is, I think, crossing a red line, which I don't think is part of the pattern. It is a new thing.
Now, Mr. Singh, the global stage has criticized China for its response for the COVID-19 outbreak, and the timing of this face-off is very crucial, and I think it would be very important for you to tell our viewers, why is China flexing its muscles right now, at this time?
Various explanations are given, and one of the regular explanations is perhaps it's an attempt to deviate global debate or global narrative on China from being the source of COVID-19, which is pandemic world over now, to deflecting attention to whether it is a national security law on Hong Kong or, this muscle flexing on India's border. That, of course, also drew immediately the response from the United States. You saw that first Alice Wells, and then, of course, President Trump himself said he wants to mediate in China-India relations. So China is aware of what kind of response such an action could get at the global level, not just at the level of India, both in political terms or in military terms, but at the global level, this incident is going to have a serious response to Chinese.
Right.
Because everybody is right now really angry with China. And any such action is going to have enormous cost for Chinese, both at the global level and I think also in bilateral relations with India.
Right.
So it's a clear aberration from the pattern that was really inching aggressively, gradually. But it's a crossing of a red line which I think doesn't fall into the pattern that they were building over the last 6-7 years.
Right. Mr. Singh, we also have another update and some breaking news coming in from Ladakh that the Indian Army has now confirmed a violent face-off with China on Monday, and India has confirmed loss of lives on the Indian side. 3 Indian soldiers, we'd like to remind our viewers, 3 Indian soldiers have lost their lives in this face-off. An officer as well as 2 soldiers from the Indian side have lost their lives in this violent face-off at the Ladakh border. We've also got a reaction coming in from the Chinese side now. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has said that they are unaware of the situation at the border. China has asked India to not take any unilateral action or escalate the situation. Right. Joining us now again is our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal. Siddhant, China seems to have reacted. Tell us more. What does this reaction mean?
Well, the reaction surely means that something has happened at the India-China border, and we have seen how the reactions have been coming from both sides, by the Indian Army and by the Chinese Foreign Ministry. The Chinese Foreign Ministry clearly saying that, clearly acknowledging that something has happened. And what is worrisome is the fact that for the first time, bullet has been fired, it seems, at the India-China line of control, something that hasn't happened for last 50 years. That is why this is the troublesome development, and also we know that there are expected to be more developments as the day progresses, with reactions coming from the Indian Army as well. More reactions coming from the Indian Army. It is believed that some kind of more information will be provided by the Indian Army very soon. There hasn't been any reaction in fact by the Ministry of External Affairs, but by and large the entire development showcases that how the peaceful, at least the overlining cover of this peaceful relationship has been blown with this development in which the Indian soldiers have been killed, which has been confirmed by the Indian Army.
Right. Now, we also know that China has asked India not to take any unilateral action or escalate the situation. What does it mean by this statement?
Well, what China means is the fact that there is something happening at the LAC, or it might have stopped right now. There is no acknowledgement of has it stopped or not. But the fact that skirmishes have happened, the Chinese side will be keen to blame the Indian side when it comes to the entire development. We know in the past as well, the Chinese side have been blaming right from the Indian side removing the special status for Jammu and Kashmir till the recent developments also. But by and large, the comments were by and large talking about diplomacy, how resolving the situation at the table is the best case scenario. Both Beijing and New Delhi have been saying, both sides have been saying that differences should not become disputes. But after this development, the big question is that the same kind of statements will be repeated by both sides or not is the big question, because remember that both sides were keen to resolve any kind of misunderstanding through the dialogue table. In fact, after the Doklam crisis, both sides have come up with the informal mechanism. The first informal summit happened in 2018, the Wuhan informal summit, the much talked about Wuhan informal summit, and then it was followed by the Chennai Connect summit. And then both the summits, both the leaders said that they gave guidance to their security personnel at the line of control that if there is an untoward incident, both sides should sit together and through dialogue, through local mechanism, resolve the matter. But now it seems that things have gone beyond that, and it seems that only political intervention by both sides can resolve it. But by and large, this is a major and a very damaging development for the relationship between India and China.
Right. All right, Siddhant, thank you for those inputs. Joining us now is Vishnu Prakash, a former Indian diplomat. Mr. Prakash, tell me, what do you make of this development at the border?
Well, we are still not clear as to what has happened. The details are sketchy, but it would appear it would appear that there have been the casualties that have been reported, and that is most unfortunate. I would prefer to wait till we have the details to know how it happened. Whatever be the case, this border has been peaceful for more than 30 years, and it is most unfortunate that this has happened. I had feared that something like this would happen, because the scale of Chinese intrusion, the timing and the motives were always a question of concern.
Right. Now, Mr. Prakash, you mentioned that this border has always been peaceful, and then a violent clash like this at the border, and as well as the timing of this clash when the world is focused on tackling the COVID-19 pandemic. So what does this say about the India-China relationships in the coming few days, or rather months?
Well, we have a difficult relationship. Nobody has any doubt about that. We have been trying to maintain keep the temperatures down. And while it's in nobody's interest, I don't think it's in China's interest or India's interest to escalate. But there is an asymmetric power balance between the two countries, and China is intent on flexing its muscles to show to the world that they are unfazed, that they are the new hegemon that has arrived. Whether it is the South China Sea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, India, they have been doing that. And I think it is also the President Xi Jinping's effort to demonstrate within the country that he is a strong leader.
Right.
What would be the motives? And, they are also wanting to send out a message, not just to India, but through India to other countries also. But whatever be the case, it is a setback to the relationship. And I really hope that it doesn't spiral out of control.
Right. And now, Mr. Prakash, can you also explain to our viewers, we'd like to rewind a bit and tell us a little bit about the border standoff and the border skirmish that has existed between the two countries over the last few weeks?
Well, yes. The fact is that we have an undelineated border between India and China. Undelineated means that, the precise line or border line or boundary is not known, and it has somehow been China has shown no interest in proceeding further with boundary demarcation, and they have been taking an advantage of the fact that you saying that it's a question of perception. So they have been taking advantage of that, and for the last so many years we have had border incursions. But since 2013, there has been a spike. There's a clear spike since 2013, and we have had a number of standoffs. This time, beginning the 5th of May, and then on the 9th of May, we actually had fist fights, which is very rare. And then it kept on escalating, not at one, not at two, but two at multiple places. Right. And according to media reports, I do not have access to any inside information, and I'll be very careful in putting numbers. But it would appear that they have crossed the LAC, and they have pitched themselves on our side of the LAC. But and the numbers of the Chinese troops has been quite large. They have established encampments. I mean, clearly the timing is such that any normal country... Mr.
Prakash, I'd just like to interrupt you right there. We request you to stay with us. We'll just take a short break and we'll come back to you for more with all more updates.